covers. Like, no.
Did we pick a name for her yet?
We've not officially picked a name for her yet. That'll happen over time.
Oh, okay.
RJ didn't have a name to start. It just happened over. No, he didn't. He evolved into being RJ. For a while, he was just the Raptor. Hello. Hi. Good morning. It is March the 8th, 2024. This is Dork Duck Daily, and we're here live on Twitch and my personal Facebook because the Zuck is still not freed the duck, and because Kyle is here, he's thrown us live also on the Experience YouTube page. You can always find this show when it's not live over on YouTube and wherever you find podcasts. We're as soon as I'm able to do the work of actually.
So I know I was complaining about how my headphones weren't loud enough. Can you turn yourself down just a little bit on
turn myself down?
Yeah, you're
on my end.
You're incredibly loud right now, my friend.
All right. I will do what I can. I'm just an incredibly loud person, I think.
I don't
it's
think
part
so.
of the problem. I think I don't know.
No.
Let's turn this boy on so it's switching through the cameras. So we're going. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Amanda. Good morning, Cobra Hobbit. Is that what that says? That's pretty great. Good morning, Snoopy. What's up, Dylan? We're live and we're ready to do this thing. Kyle's hanging out with us today.
Yeah. So if you're watching on the EXP, you know this. What's up, the internet? Even though you can't see me now because he has actually no camera control. It's just random at this point. Even though I'm the one talking. So, it's going to be a thing, guys. It's going to be a thing. So if you're watching on the EXP, you can go ahead and chat in the chat. It'll pop up here in our feed, and I'll see it, and we'll call you out. But what's up to everybody? Amanda's here. She's going to make fun of us immensely, I'm sure.
Someone says Nerd Rising has changed quite a bit. That's reaching back in time. That was my podcast, I don't know how many years ago. At this point, a decade or two back when I was trying to make it as a stand-up comic. So that's a reference. Appreciate you hanging out for this. Okay, so yes, the cameras are completely random. I tried doing a fancy thing that set up to hey, this person's talking, so switch to this, and it did not work out well. I'm not a programmer.
No.
And it followed program logic. And then also I had Selena sitting in here. It was the night you you were emotionally.
It was my last day at my job that I was leaving that I loved. And Jeff was like, hey, could you just talk to these microphones really quickly?
You have to pretend like we're doing a podcast. You're like, I'm just emotionally not prepared to do.
I literally, oh God, that was a bad day. But no. Yeah. I feel like you could have accomplished what you needed me to do with Mark or somebody. You could have just sat Mark down right here and been like, Mark, talking to this headset.
Yeah, pretend to be a person.
Pretend to be Selena while Selena sits in the
cable
corner.
So that we could be live without interruption.
After he was done doing that.
He's still not done doing that because he was he still hasn't done the finishing ends to make it pretty.
Do you think you could get him to come in and organize our cables for us?
We do need some.
If I pay him.
No such thing.
There's nothing better than this chaos.
It's a rat's nest no matter what you do. I've spent, and you and I have talked about this, I've spent mountains of money building my studio and hundreds and thousands of hours. This is it. This is just how it is. There's never not a rat's nest of cables wherever there's sound equipment or camera equipment.
These microphones, which are supposedly pretty good microphones, but they all have USB power. So even
they don't have to.
Okay, you have to give me some tips.
Yeah, you gotta.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Your board may not provide the amount of power you need.
Okay.
No, it's a dumb thing. But we can work on that after the show.
Yeah, because it's that's half the problem is that all of these have USB-C cables coming out of them and XLRs coming out of them.
Right. Do you have a thing on your board that says plus 48 volts?
I have no idea.
Okay, we'll work on that. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Kyle has too much education and not enough time on his hands, and wants to mess with other people's gear.
But it is time to do the day's news. What?
Before we do that,
Yeah.
do we have a thing on Twitch that like notifies when we get a new follower and stuff? Because that's a pretty
yeah, we can
decent
set all
thing.
that up.
Okay, I'm just asking if we. I wasn't sure if we had that.
No,
already.
we have to set all that up.
Okay.
Amanda, what are you accusing me of lying about?
Probably the cable management.
Well,
or that it could be, or that you have too much out.
Because
Pick one.
Because my cable management before I moved in with Jeffrey at my apartment was pretty decent, and then it's now all like that at home where it's just. Well, I mean, now that we moved my computer here, it's
a little bit better
because there's no cords at home.
Yeah, no, it's always a rat's nest. She just Amanda freaks out until you take your rat's nest and give it some order, but it's still a rat's nest because then when you go to undo it, it just rat's nests.
That's true.
And it's like, and every time it's like, oh, okay, 3 people today. Let's move these cameras out. Let's move it.
Yeah,
you have to move
keep
everything.
adjusting.
Right.
But every day we're gonna cover all the news that you need to care about. In a segment we like to call what, Lena? What's the segment called?
You had to say it last time. You have to say it again this time.
It's called the Daily Quack. Is the thing when we go to a 3 people setup, all the graphics just are like, get her out of here.
I feel like that Mike Wazowski, like, oh my god, I'm in the picture, and it's just like his arm.
Yeah. Top story today. Unfortunately, Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama dies at 68. This is coming from
Anime News Network.
Anime News Network by Rafael Antonio Pineda. And big thanks also to Ross, who was not the first person who told me about this.
I was about to stamp my feet.
But was the first person who sent me the article. I didn't even have to ask him. He just sent it to me.
I looked for an article.
And
was.
You were like, "Yo, this guy died," and I was like, "Cool."
I didn't say,
cool.
This guy.
I was like, "Tragic." Send me that article.
I didn't say, "Yo, this guy died" either. I was very upset, and
yeah,
you were
it's very upsetting.
You were like, "Hey, send me an article." Like you didn't believe me.
No, because for this reason.
It felt like
so
you didn't believe
I saw a lot of people posting about it, and I went, "Who?"
Oh.
It's not Miyazaki, right? And they're like, "No." I'm like, "Then I'm good."
No, it's still.
It's still sad, but it wasn't the one guy whose name I know.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, famed manga creator Akira Toriyama died on March 1st due to acute subdural hematoma. 68 years old. His family held a private funeral. Toriyama's family is not accepting gifts, visits, or offerings. Is also not accepting interviews at this time because, of course, not. Why would you be barraging them with interviews? That's mean. Toriyama began his first serialized manga, Dr. Slump, in 1980, and it inspired 2 television anime and multiple films. Followed up with Dragon Ball, which ran from 84 to 95, and is still inspiring manga and anime sequels and spin-offs today. The manga's Dragon Ball anime adaptation, its sequel Dragon Ball Z, its other numerous sequels and anime films are equally well known as the manga, and its hero, Goku, has become a character known throughout the world. Toriyama is also well known as the character designer for Dragon Quest, Chrono Trigger, and the Blue Dragon games. This guy is like responsible for my whole last childhood. Between Goku and Chrono Trigger and
yeah,
it's a lot. And then I can't believe, in some ways, I can't believe he was only 68 for being as responsible as he was for my whole last childhood.
Especially because you're old.
I am pretty old. So, but then also, yeah, it's Cobra Hobbit says loved Chrono Trigger. Yeah, Chrono Trigger's one of the one of the best JRPGs
ever
ever
made.
made.
Unstable. I mean, mentally I am, but like
I don't know. It always
says
it
that?
always says that.
I've never noticed that before.
Yeah, it always does on our Twitch dashboard.
Okay.
I just figured it was talking about our mental and emotional state.
Yeah, that's fair. And you weren't very alarmed by that.
No, that just seems pretty
I've settled into this.
pretty par for the course.
fair.
I learned from this last night that you've never played Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've watched it be played, and, like, I think Game Grumps did a playthrough of it, and I've watched it be played, but, like, a lot of those games happened before I was old enough to own a console.
Okay, you never went back on emulators or anything for...
I, a lot as a kid, was, like, just very hesitant to, like, change, and, like, I played Harvest Moon Back to Nature over and over and over again. I just played that game, and that was it. That was like the safe game.
I didn't play it.
You didn't play it?
No. Oh, didn't like it. Well, I might have played 20 minutes.
Okay.
And didn't like it.
Were you a JRPG guy or?
No.
Oh, okay.
That everybody's like, Chrono Trigger's so good, so good. You gotta play it. And I'm like, is it Madden? Is it Blitz? Is it can I shoot a guy in the face while in a strip club because this is Duke Nukem?
No, but
and they're like, no, and I'm like, I'm out.
You can have a frog warrior in your party.
It's whimsical.
It is whimsical. It has like 300 endings. It's the music's absolutely incredible.
Oh, I've heard.
I'll give it that. I the soundtrack is insane. I've used the soundtrack a bunch for other stuff. Like the soundtrack's great. But no, it was Chrono Trigger was not a thing for me either.
Yeah.
I'm
and
not
I'll be
hesitant
honest,
to play it. Just
Dragon Ball wasn't a thing for me till college.
Oh, really?
No, I wasn't. I was 18 before I ever sat and watched an entire episode of Dragon Ball.
Okay.
I watched it when I was a kid, but like in passing, and then when I was like 15, me and my ex would get really stoned and watch it in my bedroom, and like that was when I first started smoking weed. Oh no, but like, that was honestly like it's hard to explain. Like it was a very good time. It was like one of my best memories that I have with that person is just like hanging out and like watching Dragon Ball. We watched through I think all of it.
The first one or Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah, the original.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then we tried to move on to Dragon Ball Z, and I don't remember if it just like didn't catch on for me or if I was just like,
My kids and I we did donuts and Dragon Ball Z every Saturday.
We tried to do that recently. It didn't stick.
Donuts and Dragon Ball Z everything. That's the problem with being my kid is like, you listen to these shows and you're like, oh, everything has a dumb song. It's that way at the house too. And
there's a wake up song.
It's a whole lot of nonsense. Dylan says cable organization is a myth. His studio is a mess too.
Maybe it's just a man thing then.
No, it's a myth. It's you can rein it in for a minute, but it only makes it worse when you let it out. It's like
Why
I imagine
would you be
hair.
letting it out?
Because you have to move things
Right,
around.
because eventually you have to change your setup for
Then
whatever
just take
reason.
the time to put it back together.
But
This is why we don't put things away at
So,
home too.
Lena, what happens when you like tie your hair up real tight?
I don't tie my hair up.
But if you did, what would happen?
It's like I can't answer these.
The second you let it out, it's going to explode. And that's what cables do. That's exactly what cables do.
I guess that makes sense. My hair's already unruly though. Like
Right. Like if I don't manicure my beard, it just goes like this. So you have to constantly be on it. But anytime you try to change your hair configuration, it just goes nuts for a while.
I guess that makes sense.
Cobra
It doesn't really.
says
It's just the way physics works.
also, I can confirm that Jeff is old. I knew him back in high school, and yeah, that was a long time ago. And,
Wow. Such a long time ago.
And for the record, aren't we basically the same age?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Netflix is getting into live boxing via Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
Jake Paul gonna die.
Yeah, that's kind of my feel on it.
Which would be good, because then that stupid Prime energy drink will go away. And there'll be,
Is that
there'll
who
be-
made that energy drink?
yeah, there'll be
Yes,
space
the
in the
Paul
carryouts.
boys.
There'll be space in the carryouts for proper energy drinks.
Oh my God! Everybody at my old workplace in the kitchen, I would find primes just laying around, and I'd be like, what is this? Whose is this? Like,
It's Jake Paul's. This is by Mary Kay Carr over at a V Club. While we weren't looking, the Paul brothers rebranded themselves from full-time problematic internet stars to boxing guys. Logan, the elder of the two, is also signed to WWE. He's a fantastic wrestler.
Right.
Honestly,
I
he
wouldn't really
is.
call him a boxing guy. I would more or less call him Wish.com Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, I don't know. He's killing it over there. It's one of those.
He's very good, but he's not.
I don't know, man.
and I don't need I was sitting there and I was like, what is happening? Because I was like into it, and I'm not like.
I think maybe more shitty internet influencers should become wrestlers because it's like I never thought about it, but there's such an easy lane there.
Onision as a wrestler.
Well, no, it's well, that part of it, but like you look at how capable Pat McAfee was when he did it. Like,
Yeah.
there's a level of if you put the work in and train, you can be good. Right? There's a level of you have to have natural talent, which is what the Paul brothers lack in every aspect of their life. But you know, as a wrestler, he's passable, but his character's no good. His gimmick sucks. His gimmick is I'm me. I'm on the internet.
Mhm.
Yay! Which again is like Wish.com, you know, versions of other wrestlers we've seen like Tyler Breeze and some of these other guys. It's like it's not.
I just
good.
don't. I've never gotten. Like I'm just waiting for him to do like the really good heel run that he's got in him, but they
that
run
would,
him as a face. But my kids are like, oh my God, it's Logan Paul. Like they're.
But that would just make him again like knock off Miz. Like if you remember Miz when Miz came in, he was like this guy from the real world who's a heel who's gonna be, you know, this great talker, right? And if we're going to have somebody do it, let's let Miz do it because he's better than anybody at it. We don't need to hire another guy.
Dylan says it makes me angry that Logan is actually a good wrestler. Yes, I would agree. I was so ready to hate
that.
him.
Yeah, me too. I went into that ready to be angry because I hated the dude. I still hate the dude. Like, I don't think he's a good person.
He's the worst export from Ohio.
But he's a good wrestler.
Like, I love Ohio, maybe an unnatural amount for someone from Ohio. But if we could unclaim the Pauls, that would be great.
Amanda says trash human.
Very much a trash human, but a good wrestler.
The streamer, Mina Netflix, has so far resisted the potentially lucrative trappings of traditional studio fare like theatrical releases for films and week-to-week television schedules. However, it has begun to dabble in live events like comedy, sports, and awards. After staging golf and tennis tournaments, Netflix will air a live fight between Tyson and Paul from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas on Saturday, July 20th. Unlike pay-per-view, Tyson v. Paul will be offered at no additional cost to the Netflix subscriber. The bout is organized by Most Valuable Promotions, Paul's company, with Nakisa Bidarian. I think is how you say that. I know next January they're going to start doing WWE live every week too. But I also know that they were supposed to, what's the dumb show where you don't see the person you're dating? Love is Blind.
Yeah, Love is Blind.
They were supposed to do a live reunion special of that, and all their tech failed. So
I've never watched that. Not once.
I think the thing that what Netflix is trying to figure out here is there's increased desire for live sports happens. There's only so many cable networks for live sports, right? There's only so many channels.
a lot of people don't have cable anymore.
Right. Well, but there's only so many channels you can watch it on. Like, it's wild to turn on CBS in the middle of the day and instead of soap operas, it's Bundesliga. Like, it's German soccer.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because they've done a deal with German soccer, and they really want it for, like, CBS Sports Network. But there's too many games that they need to show to just put it there. So now they've got to put it on regular CBS and on Paramount Plus and on CBS Sports and. And all of these things are driving subs. So you find out like very quickly that if Netflix can figure this out, then Netflix will be your primary partner for March Madness or the Super Bowl or whatever. Now all of a sudden, instead of having to, in order to get a good Super Bowl broadcast, having to watch Nickelodeon, you'll be able to watch one of 4 options on Netflix.
But it feels like more and more like as I flip on these different streaming services, it's like, hey, do you want to watch a hockey game? And it's like, no, I'm just here because you have episodes of this old sitcom why do you have hockey games? Like,
right. I got to scroll past a whole lot of soccer to get to The Office.
Yeah, it's weird. So Dylan in our chat has a proposition for you.
For me?
For you, specifically for you, as a representative of Ohio. He's saying, we'll trade you Kid Rock and Ted Nugent for the Paul brothers.
Should I tell my threatening to kill Kid Rock story live on the air? Or I
feel like we've already dug ourselves in a hole.
This is 2024.
By saying...
The statute of limitations is over.
Yeah.
So when I first started working in radio years ago, Kid Rock went on the Bob and Tom show and insulted Toledo the day before he was to do a show in Toledo. And my job was to help that show sell out. And I told him that he needed to apologize. He needed to go on our air and apologize. Just make a statement. Hey, I was going for the joke and it didn't work, whatever. And he refused to do it. And so I run into him backstage and I go, hey, if the first 10 words out of your mouth aren't, hey, sorry for being a dick, live on stage, when you come off the stage, I will gut you like a fish.
Like a fish.
And I'm from Toledo, so I know where Jimmy Hoffa's buried. And he just looks at me and he goes, I got security guards. And I go, hey, who would you rather deal with, me or him? And they all go, you. So his security guards weren't going to help him. It was one of the, other than my blood feud with Kevin Sorbo, it was one of the greatest moments of my life.
I don't know. Bomb chicka, however you say that. Bomb chicka. The boogie jumps up the boogie.
I have no idea what you're trying. Oh,
what?
The like one
ball with the ball.
Yeah.
Ball with a ball to bang, diggy, 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 said a boogie, say up, drop the boogie.
That thing. Still a banger. Like it, all the
Only God Knows Why was a great song.
Yeah, it's some like that joke in Dogma,
and
where it's like, hey, I'm responsible for all the top hits, and like, what about the kid who did this? Like, I didn't do that one. Like I kind of feel like there's some weird dark energy behind that song. You turn that out, even the biggest Kid Rock hater, you turn that song, and it literally starts with you're talking about shitty influencers. That song starts with like, my name is Kid.
Right. No, it's true.
It's terrible.
It's Leroy Jenkins of music.
Yeah.
No, it's
but it works. It's so good.
But no, and it's funny because like even though the guitar playing in Cat Scratch Fever and some of those songs is super rudimentary, they are absolutely bops.
Yeah.
Like Jeff is a better guitar player than Ted Nugent, but Ted figured out the 3-chord power,
right,
thing better than anybody.
Cat Scratch Fever.
Oh my God! Speaking of, I did not know that Cat Scratch Fever was a real thing that you can get.
How did I know she was going to go to the actual disease?
So when I was a kid, I had a problem with petting stray cats. I still have a problem with that, but like I'm a little more careful now than I was when I was a child.
I'm wildly lucky they don't all come home. Like it's.
But when I was younger, me and my grandma were parked in a parking lot for some reason. I don't remember why. And I ended up finding a stray cat behind a dumpster. And I tried to pick it up and, it scratched me. And I was just like, like this sucks. I have a scratch, but like I've been scratched by a cat before. Like it didn't faze me at all. I was just like, okay, whatever. I probably tried to get it, to catch it again, honestly. But so my grandma wrangles me back into the car, and then I want to say a week goes by, and the scratch is still there. It didn't heal the way that it would normally. It's not all infected or anything, but it's still there. And my grandma's like, oh, well, that's really weird. I forget how exactly
So it was cat scratch fever? Or is it I didn't know that was a thing you could get.
And I forgot what my other symptoms were. I know one of them was...
It's an actual thing.
Yeah,
your lymph nodes swell up to the size of... Mine were huge.
It's an immune reaction to bacteria in the
cat scratch.
Huh. Yeah, and my
I know. I had no idea what's.
Yeah.
Well, because when you started the
We
story,
need to find a cat and let it scratch Jeff.
We have 3.
well, when we started the story, I was gonna be like, "Oh, this is another made-up thing your grandma said to you to be like, hey, don't touch the cats."
It's a real thing.
No, it's real. And I mean, like, she was a little crazy about that stuff, but, like, that was one thing she was on point about. Because my freaking lymph nodes were, like, huge. And so we were like, we got to go to the hospital. And the hospital didn't, I think it was the ER we went to first. And they didn't do anything, which was weird because.
Amanda's saying I should bring you to her house and let her cat scratch you.
Just to see what happens. Yeah.
We could arrange that. They're like that. Real.
It's Kirsten, if that makes it easier.
Kirsten, the blood feud with Kevin Sorbo's story is particularly. I'll save it for another episode of this show when we get closer to Motor City Comic Con.
But she's right. Who amongst us does not have a blood feud with Kevin Sorbo?
Yeah, but how many of us get to act on it?
That's true. The only thing I have to contribute to any of that is that I ran track against Ted Nugent's kid.
Oh, nice.
And lost. Legos. Also, Ted Nugent wasn't there. He doesn't show up to his kids' track meets, in case you're curious.
If you believe for a second that Ted Nugent isn't a neglectful father, like everything about that guy goes, that ain't my kid. Somebody get me a DNA test, but I don't trust DNAs.
No.
DNA is a government conspiracy.
Lego's stunning Gotham Skyline set soars onto shelves April 4th. This is from Alice Giovanni? I think that's how you say it. I'm going to butcher all these names, but but we, like other shows, we read the names of the reporters that report the things. That's what we do. Lego insiders will get early access to purchase the $299.99 set based on Batman the Animated Series. It is this giant Lego thing of the Gotham Skyline from Batman the Animated Series. It looks big. It looks complicated. It says Batman at the top in Legos. It's $300.
But that's like, for Lego sets, that's kind of super affordable. Like, I've seen what some of the, like, just the Mario cube with the question mark on it goes for.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Did it go for
reasonable.
that initially, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, in the Lego store.
Okay.
Like, this is super, I kind of feel like this is super reasonable for what you're getting, especially when you consider the licensing, right? So part of this is, like, DC is not going to license this cheaply. So what you're paying for is probably
That would look sick
pretty
on
reasonable.
the shelf.
It looks really cool. Like, it's...
I'm not offering to build it because I bought a Lego flower set that still is sitting in our bedroom that I'm, like, terrified to open because there's, like, 200 pieces or something. Can't fucking imagine, like, the meltdown I would have with this, but it still looks cool.
Oh, yeah, I would just cry.
Yeah, no, same. Like, I want it, but I want it built, and I want someone else to build it, and then I want them to
One
put
of these
it to my
pictures
shelf.
has it up on a wall. That would probably terrify me. It does look cool on a wall, though.
Imagine you have to glue it first, right? You'd have
Yeah.
to get out, what do they call that? The crack from the movie? Craggle? Crazy Glue? From the Lego movie? Everything is awesome.
Yeah, I was not following the
You'd have to get the stuff that Will Ferrell, like, makes his kid sniff or whatever in that movie. I kind of forget the plot.
Makes this kid sniff.
that movie is incredible. It's been a while since I watched it.
Right. I just need to rewatch it because I forget the plot.
But I forget how good that movie is and how good we had it with that movie because it should have been trash. It was pretty amazing.
Amanda says she will build it for me, so I need
Do
help.
not trust that will actually happen. I've met her and her
Listen.
feline companions.
Listen,
They will eat more of the pieces than, not Amanda, the cats will eat more of the pieces than will get built.
but if we both worked on it, I think together we could do it.
Yeah? We would get distracted, I feel like, too many times in the midst of the process.
Right, because here's the problem. While you're building it, you have to watch Batman the Animated Series. Like, if you don't, what the hell are you even doing?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And then the problem is you're going to wind up watching Batman the Animated Series and you place, like, 2 pieces, you're like, well, this is a good episode.
I gotta sit down. I need a snack.
Right. That's exactly it.
Dylan says, "Take All My Money" is the animated series was life-changing for me. Where will I put it? You ask. Fucking anywhere above my bed on the headboard. Perfect as a centerpiece for Thanksgiving. Of course, it's better than some stupid gourds. I mean, I agree with all that.
Yes. I'd be scared to put it
Although, let's be honest, if Lego made gourds, we'd all have them. Yeah. Like, because we're grown-ups who want our houses and things to look semi-grown up, but not super grown up, so Lego.
I kind of like, Lego substitutions for like
They have those. They have flowers. You can put them in vases.
Right.
It's what people have been doing. It's what I tried to do, but then got overwhelmed because there was too many pieces, and you didn't help me.
Yeah.
You were just like, "Oh, that sucks," and then
Right.
we moved on.
We definitely need like more Lego real life stuff. Like, can I get Lego doctor charts?
You could tell me I have cancer if you hand it to me.
Can I do my tax forms in Lego? Like, my debit card be Lego? Like, I'm just saying. Maybe if it was Lego, I wouldn't use it as often.
Snoopy says everything is awesome. Yes. How many pieces? Amanda asks. Let me see if they detail that. This thing's cool.
Several. There are several pieces. That's an estimate.
That's an estimate?
Yeah.
Well, it comes with, what is that, 4.5 minifigs?
Yeah, you get Batman, Catwoman, Harley, the Joker.
And 2 gargoyles.
Two.
They count as people.
Right, as quarters. So they're halves.
People.
This is incredible. I mean, it's like I love that show so much. So like,
you could just go to the page with the actual product on it and see if it has a
Jeff,
piece
let's just
count.
buy this thing now.
Okay.
No, go over to the Lego tab. You're literally on it already.
What am I?
Lego tab. The tab with the Legos in it.
That's what?
No, it's not. You literally have Lego.com open.
Oh.
Thank you.
4,210 pieces.
And it's for 18 and up.
Amanda's already overwhelmed.
So if your kids want to build this, no, they're not allowed because it says 18 and up.
Yeah, they're.
Just don't touch it.
I remember being a kid.
Show me your ID.
I remember being a kid, and when it would say like 9 to 99 on toys a lot, like I would just be like upset, like, what if I'm 100 and I want to play with this?
You thought you were going to live to be 100 when you were a kid?
Both my grandpa and my dad were alive at that time because they were. It was before I hit the era of like, hey, no one in my family makes it to 70.
I'm just saying, if you thought you could live to 100 when you were younger, I think you can kind of transfer that optimism to now.
Again, no one in my family, no men in my family make it to 70.
There wasn't the science we have now either.
Right, yeah, but I have the data.
The scientists believe the first person to live to 150 years has been born already, at least according to Chris Traeger from the television show Parks and Rec, which we all know is factual.
Yeah.
So, it's possible. I mean, especially if we have to put you like in an iron lung or something.
Yeah.
I'm sure Lena will do it. Like,
I'll put you in a jar.
Yeah.
Oh, she's.
Ooh, disembodied heads like Futurama.
Yeah.
Done.
Oh, she's gonna leave me plugged into something for like 15 plus years. I see it coming.
I need you to be around until I die. Then you're allowed to leave.
Full Fallout trailer promises a colorful, super violent apocalypse coming to Prime Video. They dropped a new trailer yesterday. It's pretty incredible. I was kind of middling to cautiously optimistic on this. I love the Fallout games. I don't know that I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to watch that. It's just kind of how I feel about a lot of things that get turned into shows and movies and stuff. But
I've been burned too many times that all of my optimism for this series left.
I don't know. Watching this trailer,
I didn't watch the trailer. You didn't share that knowledge with me.
Sorry.
It's fine. You're how I get my news. If you're not aware of something, and you're not telling me about it, I'm not aware of it.
Yeah, no, this one's a hard pass.
Just
I won't even stream it for free.
Just because it's an adaptation, or
just because it's Fallout.
You don't like Fallout?
I've been hurt too many times, Jeffrey.
That's fair. Like they really.
My relationship with Fallout is like an abusive, former partner.
Yeah.
Like I have to stop playing Fallout because when I play Fallout, I might as well be on meth. Like it's a bad time for everybody. So,
okay.
Like, no, if I buy a console and somebody's like, "We should play Fallout," I'd be like, "You should just die." No.
I played but never got super into Fallout 1 on computer. I never played 2. When 3 happened on consoles, I got obsessed.
Yeah, New Vegas was the real problem. That was
same.
where that was the gateway drug that led me into
But I've not loved any of the games since New Vegas.
I liked Fallout 4 because you could marry the ghoul and you could build a house.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things is that it's even if I didn't like them, it was now I've got 100% them because it's Fallout. Like it just turns into a whole problem.
Amanda says, "Kyle, let's play Fallout tonight."
No, no, Mario Kart at the hardest.
I think New Vegas is one of the best games ever made. Period. It really bums me out that like so many people's like only experience with those games is 4, and then the whatever that nonsense online game was called, which
Fallout 76.
Yeah,
my ex was obsessed with it, which honestly
was that the one that was
that should have been red flag number 1.
Honestly, there was too many other red flags prior to his obsession with 76, but
was that the one that was set like in
the mountains?
Yeah, down in like southern Ohio and Mothman country.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, no. So okay, the thing about Fallout 76 was my best friend, a cat named Will, grew up in the town where that game was set.
Oh.
So we had to play it basically so we could go to his high school and destroy it because it's in the game. Like that was a pretty fun little like side quest as that game went, but no, it was.
So my friends and I and my ex were all wildly excited for 76 because we were like, holy shit, it's a multiplayer Fallout. Like, it's everything we've always wanted. We got it on the midnight release. We went to GameStop. We got merch. I bought a t-shirt, okay? I got rid of that t-shirt since, but I bought a t-shirt. We went back to my friend's house to all like do one of those like LAN party type situations.
Mm-hmm.
We all played it together. We stayed up until like 4 a.m. playing it. That night was probably the only time that I've ever had fun playing that game. And then like we went like the next day tried to play it and some of the spark was gone, and then the next day tried to play it and it's like, oh shit, it's just the same game over and over and over again. And they just, and the glitches were terrible and the bugs were awful and there was terrible people in the community. It was just awful.
Well, the Fallout 76 thing was wild to me because like as that game was starting to come out, I felt like it was one of those things where I was just like, everyone's like, are you getting it? And I was like, no, it's an MMO instead of a.
Jeffrey hates MMOs.
It's not going to be like other Fallout games, and people are like, no, it's supposed to be Fallout, but an MMO. It's like, no, they're going to have to compromise a lot of stuff to make it an MMO. Like, it's not going to be like other Fallout games, and the main studio's not making it. And people will be like, no, it's going to be great, and then everyone's like, this is terrible, and I was like, yeah, of course it is. It's an MMO. Like, what?
Sponsored.
So. Real quick, I have 2 pieces of small news that we could talk about that people who are watching the show like can actually participate in.
Okay.
Cherry Capital Comic-Con an hour ago announced that they will have Adasa, who is the voice actress from Encanto.
Oh, nice.
At Cherry Capital, and that Joe Rubenstein will be coming to Monroe Comic-Con, which is super fun because now I can make him sign 100 things.
All the things.
Right.
By the way. Dork Duck Daily is brought to you by that FN guy. He worked real hard on this name, Kyle. That FN guy. That effing guy buys comic books, toys, cards, games, video games, arcade games, jukeboxes, pinball machines, or anything else cool and collectible. No collection too big or too small. Cash is paid on the spot. Just make sure you tell him Dork Duck sent you, so he gives us a little kickback that helps us keep this show on the air. Just give him a call at 269-358-7534. 269-358-7534. Real good dude who you probably end up buying his stuff because almost all of us around this area who buy, sell things, whatever, work with him. And he travels all around the country buying and grabbing stuff. So, let's see. On Fridays, we are going to specifically, in this back portion of the show, allow you guys to drive it. Those of you that are wonderful and kind enough to donate over at patreon.com/dorkduck. Which is like, it's funny because we rolled the Rad Raptor one over, and I've had a lot of people go like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't even know. I went to sign up so I could do a thing that you guys were doing."
And I was already signed up.
So I could vote to make Selena pay the Minions game, and I was already signed
great.
up.
Thanks, guys.
But every Friday, we're going to let you guys drive the conversation. Jackson, of which did so over there. And said, I'm assuming, Kyle, this question is for you, obviously. He says, when did the obsession with Squishmallows start?
So I own one Squishmallow. But he goes everywhere with me because he lives in the center console of my car.
Aww.
He is T-I-double-G-R.
It's a Tigger?
It's Tigger.
That's so cute.
And I bought him. Amanda might remember better because she was there. I don't remember if we were on our way back from Baltimore driving, or if we were on our way to Baltimore driving, or Pittsburgh maybe. I don't remember. Anyway, we're on the turnpike, and I was having a particularly high stress anxiety drive because, look, if you get in front of me, like, I don't know which camera I can look into and like make eye contact with people because
it moves as soon as you.
Jeff's camera setup is on drugs. But look, if you get in front of me on the turnpike, get the hell out of my way.
I mean, someone just signed up as Patreon.
I was so confused. I was like, where is that sound coming from?
That's the noise that means someone just signed up as a Patreon.
I have a finger I need you to look at for playing that right now. So here's the deal. Get out of my way. But because, you get on the turnpike and it's like there's semis everywhere and you can't go anywhere. You're just kind of stuck. And you start to feel like you're caged in, even though you're going 85 miles an hour. So I bought a Tigger because then I could pet the Tigger Squishmallow while driving, and it calmed my nerves. Previous to the Tigger, I had a fidget cube because sometimes you just got to stim while driving.
Yeah, no, I get that. I lost our fidget cube for that exact reason because I brought it with me somewhere, and it's gone.
Kirsten says, it's me. I became a patron.
Thanks, Kirsten.
We love you. Thank you so much.
You're the
Yeah, that I thought I turned that off from 8,000 streams ago, but it's on like each individual thing. So it just happened that as she signed up, it happened to be on that camera from that thing that I forgot to sign it up, which is pretty amazing.
Oh, we love you too.
But
live streams are dumb.
Interesting Squishmallow fact.
Okay.
Just got back from Comics Pro, which is the comics industry trade organization meetings. And the most intensely fought over seats at round tables and in after meetings where you could sign up with distributors, Squishmallows. Yeah. Like, just absolutely nuts.
Kyle, we weren't telling her that Squishmallow stuff was there because she was already mad at me about the band that was there, and we didn't go to Comics Pro this year.
Wait,
yeah, you mean
what?
You mean the private show with 75 of my closest friends seeing Claudio Sanchez?
Yep.
Yeah. It was wild. And you know what's funny? I listened to the first song and then got to talking to the guys from Silver Sprocket about ska the whole rest of the time. So, like, Lena and Amanda would have been, like, front row cheering, and Jeff and I would have been outside talking about, so do you remember when Fishbone was on SNL?
I can't flip this table, but I would be flipping it right now.
It was real cool. It was the Prize Fighter Inferno was there. And they played maybe 5 or 6 songs. It was great. But maybe because we've talked about like chord storage, they ran his microphone through a cloud lifter, which if you know what like, I could hear the cloud lifter in his voice. And I'm going, oh, this made me nuts. Anyway.
Yeah, Snoopy says just rub it in. Yeah.
You know who else was there?
Who?
The Pink Power Ranger.
Oh, yes. I was aware
Amy
of that.
Jo Johnson was there. And Jeff Johns and Matt Rosenberg and
I love Matt.
Ed
Do you know
Brisson
who was
and-
at SAC Anime this year?
No. Who?
And I refuse to go to SAC Anime for personal reasons,
No,
but
who was that second?
I'm gonna go probably. I'm gonna discard my personal reasons at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Rogers, I think that's his name. I'm sorry, I just know him as the voice actor for Blitz.
Okay.
I'm Hell of a Boss.
Okay. I was like, I don't know who that is.
Well, I was on TikTok and somebody shared like a whole video of him. Like they were like, "Can you say this thing or like do this thing as Blitz if whatever it was?" I think it was like if Blitz grew up.
I think I saw
in the
that
church
thing.
or something.
Yeah.
It was so funny. It was like he was possessed by Blitz, but like apparently, like that character was made for him anyway.
Mm.
So.
Well, I'm guessing this question was actually for you.
Oh.
When did the Squishmallow obsession start?
Actually, no. It was after I moved in with you because I didn't own any Squishmallows.
Are you-
Before. I'm not kidding. It was after I moved in with you.
Okay.
I might have owned like 1 or 2 because like
Yeah.
someone got them for me, but I'm not gonna lie to you right now. This is the weirdest thing coming out of my mouth, but like I thought they were like silly and hokey, and I was like, what the fuck? These are just silly little
Yeah.
like stuffed animals that people are buying. Like this is just another capitalism
They
nightmare.
are not that Funko is a super gendered thing, but they are like
Oh, they are
Funko
100%
for girls. Like
Funko
it's
for
very
women, and it's fine. But like no, and I forget what ones like.
But they don't store or shelf as
Oh,
well.
they don't. Like,
They
it's
can't
getting-
sit on
a
anything.
So
problem.
here's how you store your Squishmallows. So this is something I learned from the TikToks because I have some friends who are arcade influencers. They go to these arcades and they win and then they get Squishmallows. You have to vacuum seal your Squishmallows.
Okay.
I
And
don't want to vacuum seal them.
Yeah,
It seems like abuse.
because then you can store them. Because then they stack flat.
Yeah, but when I take them out, they're gonna be flat.
No, they just puff right back up. That's what's great about them.
They don't because Jeff has fallen asleep on one of mine, and she is permanently like.
Yeah, but
Jeff
I'm a
falling
big boy.
asleep on it is different than vacuum seal. Like
I feel like vacuum seal would be a little more intense than just Jeff falling asleep on it.
no, it's not.
For one night.
And also you have to make a decision then, Kyle, that Toy Story isn't real, which in our house we struggle with that. at
Yeah, we
times.
do. I cycle out my Squishmallows on my bed so each one can get like a spot on the bed.
Anything that has a Randy Newman based soundtrack is not real.
Is
No.
that,
Including my mid-teens, where all I listened to was like piano players, singer-songwriters. So Randy Newman.
that never happened? Yeah.
Right? No, my mid-teens never happened. Early puberty? No.
So in the Toy Story universe, I've had a lot of fun asking people this question, and I've not had a chance to ask you this yet, Kyle. In the Toy Story universe,
Can I have a
Are we
going
going to talk about how Jim Varney used to be the wiener dog with the slinky in the middle, and now it's Blake Clark?
no, but that's itself fascinating. But no, does the baby Jesus in a nativity scene, does he think he's Jesus, or does it act like a baby? Does it just think it's a baby?
There's a nativity scene in the Toy Story universe?
No, but like there would be, right? Like because there's like
No, because Andy and his family are a-religious, so...
And they're the only thing that exists in the
the
Toy
only
Story.
thing that
Yeah.
you're saying
Right, you
that
think-
from
you think
Andy's
Sid-
house
You
to
think
the
Sid...
Pizza Planet, there's not a church with a nativity scene during Christmas season anywhere in between those two.
No. Because they're like across the street from each other. Like,
The Pizza Planet?
yeah, if we're thinking
Isn't
too
that a
much about the
drive?
Toy Story universe...
Also, no, because like there's like
Like-
a whole ass store they have to like travel to.
Abe's Toy Barn or
yes,
whatever?
yes,
Yeah, in
Abe's
the
Toy
segment?
Barn.
There are 3 people in the Star Wars universe. There's Andy, there's Sid, and there's Buzz Lightyear. Those are the 3.
Okay.
And none of them celebrate Christmas.
They do, though. Isn't Buzz Lightyear a new Christmas
He's
toy?
a birthday present.
He's a birthday
He's a
present.
birthday
I thought he was a
present.
Christmas. I'm conflating it with Jim Henson's The Christmas Toy, which was the proto.
Oh, is that one you made me watch?
Yeah.
Fuck. I
basically-
forgot about that.
Oh, y'all should watch The Christmas Toy. It's Toy Story with stakes, because if they get seen by a human,
They fucking die.
they die. It's great.
It's not.
They were like, "Hey, you're a kid at 7. Better not look at your toys the right way, or you'll kill their souls forever. Have fun, kids."
Yep.
It was a good time.
Kirsten asks
You know,
or says they do celebrate Christmas because they get the dog for Christmas at the end of the first movie.
Oh.
Oh, solid point. Wait, is it or is it another birthday
Right,
present?
but we don't necessarily know that that's Christmas. It's just during the Christmas season. So they could be celebrating Kwanzaa or Hanukkah or any of the other holidays that take place during that season.
Dylan
So-
says, "This is the discussion I'm here for. The Pizza Planet was far enough away that Andy's mom had to stop for gas, so I don't think
That
it's
is
close."
a interesting detail to notice.
You
but
could.
you're right.
Here's the other thing you don't know: is Andy's mom like responsible and like puts gas in her car like a normal person, or is she kind of like us, where it's oh shit, I need to put gas in my car,
God.
and I'm in the middle of the area between Blissfield and Adrian, and there's no gas
that's
stations.
the worst spot to
Right, you're
possibly
like,
be in.
My gas light came on.
No, the worst spot to possibly in is Pennsylvania on I-90.
Were we? Oh.
That's true too. That's a bad one.
Oh, that's every time it's like, "Hey, get gas. By the way, we're not going to tell you there's no more gas for like
There's no more. You don't get it.
3 or 4 hours."
I like how I acted like I knew what you're talking about, but I've never been to Pennsylvania with you. I just forget because we've traveled a lot.
We've done a lot. It'll happen.
It better.
Kirsten says you could just say Pennsylvania. That's accurate. That state terrifies me. I think more than it used to be. It used to be driving through Ohio when I started comedy because like it was just like, oh man, everything's flat and
Everything's flat.
gridded and like once you start driving through Pennsylvania and you're like, oh my gosh, I could get murdered here and no one would find out for days.
Right. No. So one of the best stories ever is the first year we drove over to.
Hang on to this.
I
whatever.
can't. It's Iowa. Or wait, no, not Iowa. Fuck. One of the states we drove through, me and my ex, on the way to California, was insanely flat, insanely like barren.
Basically anything west of here until you get to like Vegas,
Yeah, it
Like,
was
everything's flat.
I don't remember.
Montana.
It was crazy because like it was that, and then it was
Nebraska.
like fucking the Shire. Like it was literally like we were driving through like luscious green hills with fucking wild cows. I'm not joking or exaggerating.
Yeah, that sounds like Montana.
There were wild
Wyoming.
cows. Yeah, I think it was Wyoming.
Yeah.
I wanna
So
say.
anyway, first time we went to
Your
Baltimore.
story's not interesting.
Well, you just have explained the Midwest to everyone.
It was a really big experience for me.
So Amanda and I are driving to Baltimore for Po Fest, and we decide to leave in the
Every
middle of the night.
experience is a very big experience for you. Short joke. Okay, continue.
Anyway, I felt like you needed that.
Yep.
No, so we decided to leave like at 9:00 at night and drive through until we had to pass out, right?
Yeah.
So we're driving through the mountains and it's foggy, and it was this moment where, fucking, if Mothman and Bigfoot exist, they are going to come out and like just destroy our car. It was so foggy, and the mountains of Pennsylvania, they're like switchbacks, and it's wild. So I'm like, you know what? If this is how I die, this is a good one. This is. But I need to be carried away by Mothman, or the Jersey Devil, or whatever.
Or one of the two, yeah.
Right. But yeah, no, it's Pennsylvania is scary. Not nearly as scary as some of those like Wyoming, Nebraska, Montana, where it's next gas station 275 miles, and your car's like you have 280 miles till empty.
There was also the flatness that we were driving through. There was no phone service. It was like one of the places where you
Did
can,
just not?
so like we couldn't call anybody.
People
and
don't live there.
No, I don't remember seeing any houses. Also, sometimes I don't really know if like part of what I like experienced during that trip was like a fever dream because I like slept through a lot of that car ride, like, because it was like what, like a day. It was longer than. Oh my god, it was longer than a day. What am I saying?
Oh yeah, it takes
like
forever.
4 days.
Where'd all our pens go?
I don't know.
Would you hand me whatever that is? That's not a pen. What is this?
That was a pen.
Okay.
What are you talking about? It's 100% a pen.
Thank you.
It just doesn't have a.
Hey, we gotta get
thing
some stuff away.
inside of it. Yeah.
Those of you hanging out, we'll give you a chance to. Kyle brought a cool thing to give away. What do you got there, Kyle?
So, again, which camera is my camera, Jeff?
I can lock into one if you really want me to. It's about to switch to that one if you want to just wait.
One with that. See, and now like it's such a bad angle for the foil. I really need it to be this one.
All right, we'll give it a couple seconds and it'll switch to there. There you go.
There you go. So this is Thundercats #1, foil, Rob Liefeld cover, Thundercats #1 Comics Pro exclusive variant. So this was exclusive to Comics Pro, so there was very few printed. It's Declan Shelvey, Drew Moss's Thundercats from Dynamite. Again, this is the Rob Liefeld Comics Pro exclusive foil variant.
All right. And we'll do it this way. You keep an eye on the Twitch. I'll keep an eye on the Facebook. Okay?
What?
Keep an eye on the Twitch. I'll keep an eye on the Facebook. As far as the feed goes. Earlier in this episode, Kyle said that he had a blood feud with someone. Who was that?
Who
was that someone? The first person to say it is gonna win.
Hint: there are multiple right answers,
but specifically said on this program.
Yeah, we could have done Thundercats trivia.
That would have been, well.
I've Kevin Sorbo over here by Dylan, and nothing that's gonna do it. Congrats, Dylan. That's a perfect place for that to go.
Yay! Congrats, Dylan.
He says Orchid Rock.
There's several others.
What? Why'd you hand it directly to me?
I don't know.
You got arms long enough to reach.
To reach that?
Yeah.
I don't know that. That's
Jeff has short little arms.
I do.
I could have reached Jeff.
Yeah.
But Jeff could not have reached the book.
Okay. We're gonna do the drawing for the. I'm gonna give people a little more time to do the big drawing for the Bruce Campbell thing, especially because we.
Should we show it on the right now? Like show it with our.
You wanna grab it?
Our arms.
If you scroll down on the Dork Duck Facebook page, there's a hey, share this, whatever. We'll do it tonight after the stream for The Last of Us. But we're giving this away. It's signed by Bruce Campbell.
Careful.
Just to get the likes and follows on our Facebook page, but then we couldn't use our Facebook page to actually stream all week. So it's the whole point was to get the
hold it closer to the camera, just in case, Yeah. It's signed.
It's signed by Bruce Campbell. We're gonna give that away today. We were gonna give away on the show, but I think we're just gonna have to shoot a live video that is just that, and then share it over to that page.
Because we are out of time.
Well, and also just the stupid the duck won't free the duck, and it's had to change so many plans this weekend of not being able to stream this on the actual.
Because if somebody's following just that page, they're not gonna see. You can tag them.
Right.
In Facebook when they win.
Yeah, but we're gonna have to shoot it and then just post it on there as opposed to doing a live video that.
I don't like that.
I don't either. There's no good solution to it. The whole hey, all the Facebook rules changed literally 2 weeks ago. Is there
any other social media out there anymore?
Yeah, there's great social media. You just gotta recognize that.
Marco Polo? Is that still a thing?
Fuck?
No, but like
Yik yak.
Blue Sky
MySpace.
is great. But you got to recognize that you can't do anything on Blue Sky other than basically tweet.
What about Threads? Does anybody still do Threads?
I think so.
Threads is all just rolled into Instagram now.
Oh.
Anyway, did you guys know that the TikTok ban is because Zuckerberg paid a conservative marketing company to trash TikTok to politicians?
No.
Yeah. It's all
Not
Zuck's fault.
surprised by that.
Yep.
Do you remember when he did that weird barbecue sauce
Do you
video?
remember when he was going to fight Elon Musk?
Yeah.
That should be the undercard for Mike Tyson versus...
I'd be there for that.
For Mike Tyson literally murdering Logan Paul.
Not Logan Paul.
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul.
They're the same. They're interchangeable.
He's going to get murdered, right?
Yes. Mike Tyson looks good.
And it's just no one hits like him. I don't care how old
watch
he is.
the training videos. Mike Tyson is like actually hurting his sparring partner. And Logan Paul's sparring partner, Jake Paul's sparring partner, is having to do that WWE thing where you stamp on the mat to make it sound like you're hitting harder.
Well, and Jake Paul's whole thing is he's just good at making people mad. And there's one person that you definitely don't want to make mad. It's Mike Tyson.
It's true. So, real quick, before we wrap up, because we are out of time, and Lena's watching the time very carefully. If you're watching this over on the Experience YouTube page, shout out to you guys. But this show is only going to go live to that page when I'm on. So, just be aware of that. This is not a regular thing until it's a regular thing.
Unless Jeff accidentally forgets to unclick that, which is not a planned thing. But
if Jeff forgets to unclick it, I will take it off almost immediately.
Yeah. Okay. As said earlier, Dork Duck Daily is brought to you by That FN Guy. That FN Guy buys comic books, toys, cards, video games, arcade games, jukeboxes, pinball machines, or anything else cool and collectible. No collection too big, too small. Cash paid on the spot. Make sure you tell him Dork Duck sent you, because then he'll come back and take care of us, help keep the show on the air. Just give him a call at 269-358-7534. It's 269-358-7534. Also, Selena and I will be live later today on Twitch.
We're going to play The Last of Us.
We're going to play The Last of Us, which she's never...
I want to
It's an amazing
be
game.
sad.
And she's never played through it before. She just watched the show and was like...
And I've
this.
also seen playthroughs of it.
Yeah.
Not a lot, though, so like I'm not like really... There's not going to be much that
Last
was
of Us was a
spoiled.
free PlayStation game at one point through
Yep.
PS Plus. And I got it, and I'm like, this is not the kind of game I normally enjoy playing, because as we've discussed, I kind of like your Maddens and your, that kind of stuff, like pretty mindless
real
games.
gamey games.
Well, pretty mindless games, because if I'm going to sit down and play, it's because I'm trying to turn my brain off. And I started playing Last of Us, and I'm like, oh, this is special.
Yeah.
This is a once-in-a-generation kind of game.
And and I'm a weirdo that actually thinks 2 is as good and or better than 1 too.
I
not
have
played
one
2.
last question, and it's completely unrelated to anything we talked about.
That's on brand.
All right.
I love you.
I love you too. Does anybody else, when they like yawn or stretch, like,
Okay.
do you lose hearing? Like, kind
Do
of.
I lose hearing
Not
when
like
I yawn or
completely,
stretch?
but like your ears sort of close up a little. Like everything's muffled. Like I just stretched
Mm-hmm.
and like.
And
it's
then
like,
it sounded like you were like underwater for a second.
sort of, yeah. It's like maybe I'm just like crunching my muscles too much. Or
Amanda, somebody check with Amanda. That feels like a medical question. And, she's a drug dealer, so that works.
You could just like stretch right now and tell me if you lose hearing or not.
I think I would in almost 37 years, I'd know if that happens to me or not.
No, because it's
Well,
a very passive thing.
And I don't, but I've also, trained my entire brain to wear headphones all the time.
Oh, that's fair.
So I might not actually notice while I'm wearing
I
headphones.
also have tinnitus, and I also probably had trauma to my ear, so I should also add those.
Amanda says not
in.
qualified to answer.
What?
Right, but Amanda, ask some of the people around you. There's got to be somebody within yelling distance.
This sounds like something we can handle on a phone call.
I don't. I
So-
was just curious. I didn't need a medical answer. I'm not gonna go to the doctor about it. I just wanted to know if it was a thing anyone else experienced.
Thank you, Kyle, for being.
Yeah, can I plug my stuff now?
Yeah,
that we
go
have
go
this?
for it.
you.
Yeah, please do.
Yes. So, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, _EXP, The Experience, theexplive.com. the EXP Live app on YouTube or on Google and the App Store.
Do any of those have underscores, or is it just?
When you search the EXP Live, it's all got normal spaces.
Okay.
But when you go to a social media or whatever, search with the underscore, because that's how those things work. And we are live 7 days a week, 360-ish days a year with live comic book, pop culture related content. Tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern, we have the Original Art Experience with Nick Barucci from Dynamite, where he sells original comic book pages. And he will have Joe Quesada Exo Manowar pages.
Oh,
or not
awesome.
Joe Quesada, not Exo Manowar. Joe Quesada Ninjak pages.
Oh, nice.
As well as some Walt Simonson original art as well, or file copies. Then we have live we have Friday Night Live from Comics Unlimited, which is in Cleveland, Tennessee. It's Nancy McCann. She's one of the oldest comic book continually operating comic book stores in the country, over 40 years. Tomorrow at 7:30, GM Comics, which is a completely vintage show. No new books, all vintage. That's 7:30 to 9:30. And then Sunday, we're at Fat Jack's, who is one of the other oldest continually operating comic book stores in the country, nearly 40 years. So those are our shows today. I am on every Monday night at 10:30 with Bronze Age Nerd on a show called Devil's Advocates. And every Tuesday at 7 o'clock for Minute to Skim It, where we read comic books and review them as quickly as humanly possible.
Nice. Mm-hmm. And occasionally on Dork Duck Daily. So
right. And if you guys on Dork Duck Daily pressure Jeff enough, maybe he will, I don't know, join us like I've asked him several hundred times.
Like for years.
Yeah.
But like we had to get to now where we're actually starting a media empire to even be in position to maybe do that. So.
You guys need to peer pressure him on Patreon. Threaten to pull your Patreons if he doesn't join us. Don't actually do it, just threaten.
Yeah. Just be mean.
Right.
And yeah, if I don't know if it's at dorkduck.com, gets all the links to all of our stuff. So it just points to a link tree. Got to set you up a link tree like the OnlyFans girls do.
I have one of those. I have a link in bio, and I have a Bitly one.
Nice.
Yeah, bro. Like, I do this 110 hours a week. I've got all the stuff.
I was impressed by like your plug list and being able to nail it and say it all. Like, I flub everything every single time. I don't try to.
You don't have a Google Sheets document that lives in your brain that you just read?
No, I have one, and then she yells at me because I forget to read it, and then she goes like, "Hey, ad read," and I go like, "Oh yeah, of course I was supposed to do that."
I had a really funny joke yesterday about Olivia Munn reminding you to read your ads, but I never got a chance to say it. I was so pissed. I thought about it the rest of the day. I was like, "Oh man, that would have been so funny."
Sure.
Olivia Munn. Okay.
She came up a lot yesterday because of John Mulaney stuff.
Jeff's gonna leave me for Olivia Munn at some point.
I'm not gonna leave you for Olivia.
She's gonna show up to all our Dork Duck Daily shows, and then you're gonna be like, "Man, I can't resist anymore." Kind of like John Mulaney. Yeah. Anyway.
Bye, friends.
Bye. I love you.
Bye.